We begin tonight with breaking news out of Washington, D.C. A live look from the Capitol building where nearby the Supreme Court is dealing with an unprecedented breach of confidentiality. Politico is reporting an initial draft majority opinion from the Supreme Court suggests earlier this year, the majority of the high court supported overturning the 1973 case Roe v. Wade. That's the decision that legalized abortion nationwide. Thank you for joining us. I'm Molly Cohick. James Brown is off. News Center 7 has not independently verified this document, but in the draft Politico released, Justice Samuel Alito wrote that Roe was egregiously wrong from the start. It goes on to say it's time to heed the Constitution and return the issue of abortion to people's elected representatives. Less than an hour ago, I spoke with Cedarville University professor Mark Caleb Smith about what this breaking news all means.
Dr. Smith, thank you so much for joining us on such a big, important story. If Politico's reporting holds true, how monumental is this?
It's monumental for two reasons. One is it appears that perhaps the court is moving toward overturning Roe versus Wade, which would clearly be one of the most important Supreme Court decisions of the last 50 years, and something that we would need to discuss in great detail. But it's also important because this is a shocking breach of protocol at the Supreme Court itself. The court has very strong norms in place, very strong restrictions in place for the justices themselves, for staff members, for clerks and others. Information that's done behind closed doors just simply does not get out. And it's designed to be that way so the justices can deliberate, so they can talk amongst themselves, so they're not inviting pressure into the situation, which is already very volatile, as you might expect. And so this is just an incredible breaking of protocol, something that I have never seen before, and I don't think any of us who study the court have ever seen before. And so for those two reasons, this is a historic event.
We're hearing that this is a draft. How likely is this to become final?
Yeah, that's what we really don't know. And that's what I think concerns me perhaps the most about this situation. So this draft apparently was circulated about a month after the oral arguments in the Dobbs case, which means this process can go through several iterations. A draft can be put together, then the other justices react to it, and then revisions take place. Occasionally, even votes change during that part of the process. And so even though this is a draft, and even though it does appear indeed to overturn Roe, there's no guarantee that that's where the court is right now. And so it appears the document looks legitimate. It certainly feels legitimate when you read it, but that doesn't mean that's where the court is at this particular moment.
If this does, in fact, hold up, what does this mean for women's rights in America?
It means we've entered a whole new discussion and a whole new period for abortion and for women's rights in general. So instead of abortion being a matter of constitutional right, this would now become an incredibly divisive, as you might expect, political issue where state legislatures would have to be making very hard decisions. Some states have already started to do it, I think, under the expectation that Roe will be overturned. But if this doesn't indeed turn out to be the case, we're looking at a pretty, I think, explosive summer of legislative activity.
Where do we go from here?
You know, I really want to see how the court itself responds. You know, Chief Justice Roberts obviously has a leadership role in the court. This information just came out, and so I wonder whether he will respond to this directly, maybe even as early as tomorrow morning. I also wonder whether this is indeed the final opinion, and this turns out to be the case, whether they'll just go ahead and issue the opinion so that they can minimize the kind of instability and uncertainty that's surrounding the issue right now. So I think the next 12 hours or 15 or 16 hours will be really revealing for that.
What do we need to know in the next couple of hours, in the next couple of days?
I think we need to know how the court is handling this. We need to know what the opinion is actually going to be. There's going to be a good bit of pressure, I think, to reveal the identity of the leaker. That's something we may never know, but there's going to be an awful lot of pressure on the court to get down to the bottom of this. I suspect they'll open an investigation. This is just going to go in a whole lot of interesting and probably unpredictable ways because we've literally never seen anything like this.
Is there anything that I'm forgetting to ask you?
Not that I can think of. I'm just flabbergasted. So I'm shocked. I'm just completely shocked. And not many things leave me shocked, but this is shocking.
Certainly a big night. Dr. Smith, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. And we will definitely be checking back in with you as the story develops.
All right. Thanks very much.